So have you heard of the new movie that's coming out, The Purge, election year? That also has a woman president, just like Independence Day. So you can see how Hollywood's being used to promote Hillary Clinton. But this is probably one of the worst series that's ever, as far as movie franchises, this is probably the worst because it associates with the United States. Basically they are shutting down the law for 12 hours for the day, for a 12-hour period. And then they are allowing the citizens of the United States to basically do anything they want to do. Nothing's against the law. Anything goes. So it's total, complete lawlessness without restraint. And they call it the purge. What's interesting is that they actually have a commercial on television where they show regular people on the commercial saying, "Have you purged? Have you purged? I purged. Have you purged?" And they go down a line of different people in the commercial saying that they've purged. And then they say, "Make sure you purge." And then they say 2016. Now this has nothing to do with the movie. Are you listening? I find it interesting that Jesus Christ said that the branch that abides in the vine must be purged. So Satan's counterfeit of the purge is to basically let those that have evil inside them, or those that have some kind of an evil desire, to let that out. To let them vent. And then they'll go out and they'll clean up everything and be business as usual till next year. And this is the programming and the conditioning to get the younger generation to accept a purge, because the elite want to they want to maintain a balance in the earth. And their idea is we've got to purge because we've got to keep the ecosystem balanced. We've got to keep, the ratio balanced out. So this is a movie that promotes genocide. It promotes murder. It promotes lawlessness. It promotes the most grotesque, the most evil, the most diabolical, the most vile actions, the most vile acts. And I heard one person say that it should be illegal to have a movie like that in the United States. But if it was illegal, then you'd have to say that, freedom of speech is illegal. So they're pushing the bar, right? But really, there was a time when the FCC probably would have regulated this and not allowed what they're doing. And well, anyway, in this movie, they go as far as having a guillotine. Now, you and I know that eventually the guillotine or the beheadings are going to begin on this planet. The beast is going to have everybody beheaded that does not receive the mark of the beast. I'm wondering how much traction this movie is going to get. I'm wondering how popular it's going to be. I guess we'll hear about it at the box office. But when we find out how well it does in the movies, we will find out where the people are at. Now, we can already see that what is tremendously popular in this world today is zombies. Anything to do with zombies. TV shows, movies. But let's see what happens, movies, horror movies like The Shining and Jason and, Freddy Krueger, all these, And then they've got even worse ones since then. But I think that The Purge is probably the worst. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's the Illuminati themselves that's funding this movie. That the elite themselves are funding it. It's interesting that in the movie, it's the mega rich that are the ones that are behind all the major killings. That they literally are having people dragged to their mansions where they can do, they don't have to go out and find their own victim. They can have them brought right to them. And I don't think that they're acting this out. I think that this is their way of saying, we're doing this already. We just want you to join us. Folks, I believe it. I believe the elite of this world are already doing these things. It might be that that's what they do on Halloween night. But they're already doing it. They've been doing it for years. But they want the world to join them. They think it's a great idea. If you was to ask them why they think it's a great idea, they would say to you, just think of how less population is on the earth right now because of our purge, because of genocide. They really believe in this idea, this notion of balancing out the ecosystem, balancing out the population to that the earth is not unbalanced with the population. That's how sick they are, that they're insane. It's insanity. And it's amazing. Remember I was talking to you about how that the world is using words like sick and kill it. They're using these words as a positive word. Well, now they're using that word insane. When something's good, instead of saying it's sane, they say it's insane. Where does the madness end? Where does it end, people? I'm going to tell you where it ends. It ends in hell. That's where it ends. Or I should say that's where it ends up. But that's not where it ends, because that's not our end. Amen. All that ends for us when we enter into His kingdom. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. But in this movie that's coming out promoting Hillary Clinton, it's all programming, people. It's conditioning. And if you waste your money to go watch a movie like that, God help you. God help you.